Welcome back to the Blue Review. Greg Bergman, the Big CY. It's a new week, and we're ready to go. And always thanks you to Los Angeles International Airport, where changes are arriving daily to help reduce traffic, save travelers time, and transform the travel experience. Best series of the week, best series of the year, right, Clint?
Easily. Talk about transforming the experience, by the way. This is my scorecard. Hold on. What?
Oh, no. Green screen not making it work.
Green screen not making it work. Anyway, you can see it over here.
I'm so excited to see it.
This is my scorecard. It looks great. Man, the wonders of technology. Best series of the year. They got the sweep against the Cardinals, who were also struggling for what it's worth. But a couple things. Just to indicate how much the Cards were struggling, they had exactly 2 extra base hits in this series coming into Sunday's game. So they weren't hitting the ball well. It wasn't going particularly well. Couple notes from the game. Will Smith did get hit with a ball, except it was hit when he was at the plate and he caught it with his armpit. So it was a good kind of like in-between moment where you're like, oh, is he okay? Oh, right. It just hit him in the arm. So that was good for him. And also Noah Syndergaard. So we talked about this before. I kind of hate his throwing motion. That's sort of a separate gripe that I have, but that's
pitching mechanics Twitter that you're talking about.
Big time. Arm slot Twitter. He's throwing the curveball with some level of effectiveness. He hit it for a bunch of strikes yesterday. And considering how fast he can get his fastball moving, it's effective, but the velo is still borderline sub 80 at all times on his curveball. That's a pitch that I could hit in high school. And I don't say that to knock Noah. I'm just saying that if he really wants to mix it up, I think that speed's got to get up a little higher because guys are going to start to recognize once they see that dot on the ball, they can tee off. It was effective yesterday. What'd you think about Syndergaard's outing?
So I think Syndergaard's just an interesting. I know people are absolutely down on him, especially after the last outing. And again, even yesterday, he was getting hit hard, just like you're talking about. He was getting hit hard, and he had no strikeouts. But if he can somehow weasel his way in and out and give up 3 runs in 5 1/3 innings, sometimes get through the 6th inning, then I'm fine. Like I need him to overall. He's the 5th starter. I need him to give me 6 innings and 3 to 4 runs tops. Nothing going over. You go less, awesome. But that's kind of what I need from him. So now if you look at it, while that wasn't the greatest outing, he got the win because he only gave up only 3 earned runs. They ended up getting the win. He's now had 4 decent outings and 2 bad outings. If he keeps that level where it keeps going like that, I'm fine. I'm fine with the 5th starter. Like
don't hate
maybe
that.
Gavin Stone comes in and does better.
Don't hate that. Also, so the reason why he was still in position for the win, though, is because the offense actually managed to get some things moving. They had to come back twice to put him in a position to be up. Both times that he, was in a position to win it and came back out on the mound. No home run balls. Got some stolen bases. Chris Taylor stole a base. All of a sudden, there's an epidemic of people swiping back. By that, I mean 2 people. But, they looked like, and I don't want to say they don't look like a real baseball team, but the bloop and a blast stuff was not part of the equation yesterday. They got the ball around the bags. They put pressure on the Cardinals, who then proceeded to make mistakes, and they got themselves some easy runs, and they turned out to be the difference of the game. I'm sorry I'm biased. That's my kind of baseball, Greg Bergman.
That's my kind of baseball, too. Manufacturing runs. The home run ball just helps in that situation. Yeah. You need to be able to just move guys along the bases, and that's something they hadn't been doing at all this entire season. So now that to start seeing that and see guys getting hits and seeing a guy like Chris Taylor actually getting on base, not through the home run ball, that's a huge deal. So, I mean, it really shows you in this how much different this team is when you have Will Smith and Max Muncy in the lineup. Yeah. All of a sudden, things are starting to look like an actual lineup again. They're all healthy. They're all working together. It changes the way everything you're trying to do up and down the lineup.
Nothing noticeable about Will behind the dish. I did note that on the telecast, they said he doesn't have a hit off of a lefty yet this season. I'm not sure if that's still happen again, which is an interesting stat to just keep in your brains, Dodgers fans, is what Will Smith does, because that could turn into a situation down the line in the season in terms of lineups and matchups and so forth. I thought he looked like he was a ball player. You know what I mean? Like I mentioned that funny moment where he got hit with the ball, but that was actually kind of perfect. Like it was an awkward contact moment, but it wasn't him getting rocked in the head with a ball or wherever, to the point that we had to have some nerves come over us. I thought Will looked good just as a guy on the field getting back to it.
Yeah, I mean, getting back to it is the biggest thing. He's gonna start heating up a little bit more as we go along, but he got a couple hits here and there. And you know what? He was out for over a week with a concussion. Like, it's gonna take a little bit of time. The fact that he got behind the dish is great. And so getting that confidence to be able to get back into that, that's what I like the most out of that.
Best part of the day, though, if you were not there or you were not watching
Incredible.
the podcast, I mean, listen, I play a little game on the internet called Snag, Grab, or Stab, in which I highlight different defensive plays made around various diamond sports in the country and the globe. This one came from the crowd. This guy, let's just talk about the setup here. First of all, he's got the mirrored shades, which is a great look. Cyclops, X-Men, all that. Secondarily, front holstered baby. Always a risk, just in general. You know what I mean? You've got more exposed in terms of even just moving about the crowd. Normally when you've got him on the back, you've really just got to cover the head. You know what I mean? In this case, you've got, you're playing
the whole thing.
You're not playing zone, and he's got what I'm just going to call a large beverage in his other hand. This guy reaches up and makes a catch and then just goes full two hands extended. I mean, I don't know that we're going to see a better fan grab or fan catch, whatever you want to call it, this year at Dodger Stadium.
So are you calling it a grab then? If
I think I'm calling it a grab. Yeah, I think in the game, snag, grab, or stab, I think I'm going with grab. It was very stabby, though, because...
Yeah, I was going to go with stab. I'm going with stab. Because he put his hand up and just stabbed at it and grabbed it.
At it a little
so there's a little bit of both in there. But yeah, I got stabbed.
Have you ever been anywhere close as a dad to making a play like this, even if it wasn't at Dodger Stadium?
So not as a dad, but I have been in a situation where a ball was coming down and there was an older lady that was sitting next to me, sitting down, not paying attention. And I put my hand out and the ball hit my hand instead of hitting her. I didn't get the ball, but it hit my hand. I was like, oh, I got to get that. And it put it out and it hit me.
Are we really supposed to believe that? Just Greg Bergman, Samaritan, walking around ballpark, saving old ladies?
It's true. It's true. The person that I'm with, if you really want to, I will call them right now.
No, I believe you. I believe you. Future guest on Blue Review. But
yeah, hold on. Let me get my phone going in.
Good series for the Dodgers overall. They moved back into first place in the division, tied with the Snakes, which is something that we're actually saying in May. It's the Phils coming up. The Phils are a better baseball team than they've played, I guess, since they played the last team from Pennsylvania. What do you think about is coming for this series?
So I think it's going to be it'll be interesting to see Trey Turner again. So and Trey, by the way, has not been playing very well. He has not shown up as of yet, and that's kind of interesting. But he's obviously gonna figure out that team. The Phillies, they were in the World Series last year. They're going to be a good team this year. It's what's interesting. Like what you're seeing is a lot of these teams that you expect to be there at the end are kind of all struggling right now. Right. The Dodgers, the Padres, the Cardinals, the Phillies, all these teams are kind of struggling to the point where what's going to happen with them. I think they all figured out. It's just a matter of how they're going to play against them. I think the Dodgers, it's just going to be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably, if you could probably arguably name 10 teams and make an argument for them potentially winning, let's say 5 on each side, their pennant or eventually the World Series. Like it is pretty evened out right now as far as the league goes. Last thing, quickly, Star Wars night is tomorrow. Are you coming, Greg, or not?
There's a Laker game. I'm not going to be able to go. I'm so sorry. I want to go so bad.
This is embarrassing. We try to make these connections and these bonds, and next thing you know, apparently we got basketball. Anyway, I'll be there.
We will.
I'll be bringing my camera too, so I'll probably try to put together a little something, and maybe I'll get my Baby Yoda hat and show it to you guys. So he's Greg Bergman. I'm Clinton Yates. This is Blue Review. Thanks again to LAX.